because you're going to go through hard things in life. This isn't coming together. This sucks. Should I stop? I know this feeling very well, and I know that you don't listen to this feeling. You want to have cultivated a sense of not quitting. Yeah, things are hard. So the most philosophical part of my day is also the most physical. It's when I get off my ass, I go outside, I put on my shoes, and I go for a run for miles. 5 miles, 6 miles, sometimes 10 miles. Sometimes it's hot like today, it's over 100 degrees, sometimes it's freezing, sometimes it's snowing, sometimes it's early in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon. It doesn't matter, but it's that I take the time to push myself physically, and then in that time when the mind is asserting dominance over the body, when I can't do anything but sort of think, but also at the same time be present, that's when I'm practicing Stoicism. And we know that's what Marcus Aurelius and Seneca and Epictetus and Chrysippus and Cleanses and so many of the other Stoics did. They were wrestlers, boxers, runners, weightlifters, gladiators. They were pushing themselves physically as part of their philosophical pursuits. I'm Ryan Holiday. Yeah, I've written a number of books about Stoic philosophy. I've spoken to the NBA, the NFL, sitting senators, special forces leaders. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the physical practice that I do the most, running, and the lessons that long distance running, pushing myself physically, have taught me, not just about Stoicism, but about life, and what Stoicism has taught me about how to be a better runner and athlete. Physical practice. I think you could just do one hard thing a day that puts you in good shape. That's a win, right? One of the things about running is that it's always a win for me. It doesn't matter if it's a couple miles. Doesn't matter if it's a lot of miles. What matters is that I didn't want to do it. I know that I should do it, and then I did do it. It's about asserting that dominance that we talked about. It's about seeing what's on the other side of that sacrifice and that difficulty, right? And what's usually on the other side is a greater capacity. You realize that you're stronger than you thought you were. You have more endurance than you thought you did. You just have more in you, period, than you thought you did. And that's what running is all about to me. Treat the body rigorously. Thank you. I just finished my run in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Remember what Santa said: we treat the body rigorously so it may not be disobedient to the mind. You get up early, you put in work, even though it's cold, even though you're retired, even though you'd like to stay under the covers. As Marcus Aurelius says, you put in the work, so you remind your body who is in charge, that you're in charge, that you decide how this is going to go throughout the course of the day and throughout the course of your life. You're in charge. You treat the body rigorously so it's not disobedient to the obstacle is the way, the mind. You have to search for this idea that struggle is difficult, or like the title of your book, The Obstacle is the Way. Like getting through things is how you build a stronger foundation. It's how you develop characters, how the mind understands how to manage difficult situations well. And I think it's a transferable skill. So yes, you're doing it in the cold plunge, or running, or fighting, or whatever. And then when I'm working on a book, and books are hard, and they're halfway through, I'm like, this isn't coming together. This sucks. Should I stop? I know this feeling very well, and I know that you don't listen to this feeling. So off, because you're gonna go through hard things in life, and you want to have cultivated a sense of not quitting. Yeah, things are hard. Run your own race. You have to run your own race. Seneca defines tranquility, or peace, or happiness, this word euphemia, as a sense of being on the path that you're on and not being distracted or misled by the paths that crisscross yours. Everyone's going to be on their own journey. Everyone has their own potentials, their own limits. And so I think of athletics not being in competition with someone else, but being in competition with myself. I got out there, I'm running. I don't care if other people are passing me. I don't care if other people are in better shape than me. I don't care about anything that anyone else is doing. I care about what I'm doing. I care about the race I'm trying to run. I care about the path that I'm on, where I'm going, and I don't get distracted by the people, or the paths, or the footsteps, or the runners, or the swimmers, or whatever it is that crisscross mine. Sponsor Hoka. Today's sponsor is actually the shoes that I'm wearing right now. Hoka. Hoka's shoes were conceived in the mountain and designed to defy the odds. It's an awesome combination of cushioning and Support for a super smooth ride, I mean, you just feel it when you're on them. Everyday Hoka pushes the boundaries of innovation and design and collaborate with world champions and then just everyday athletes like me. That's why today's episode is sponsored by Hoka's Mach-X, their high-speed plated road shoe, which delivers a revolutionary performance for everyday speed. It's an adaptable trainer that offers the comfort of a plated daily shoe and the speed of race-ready style. They test all their stuff. It's got this P-Bax propulsion plate. It's perfectly balanced with advanced foam compounds, and it's the ideal combination of propulsion and stability for everyday use. You can join us on the journey, embrace limitless possibilities with Hoka. Run like race day every day. Hoka, a joyful performance brand for every mover everywhere. Keep your motivation intrinsic. People ask me as a runner if I'm like training for a marathon. I think people struggle with the idea of doing something because you enjoy doing the thing and the thing makes you better. They want to have an external goal. They want to have some sort of validation, or it has to be a race where you're competing and trying to beat everyone all else. To me, the marathon is waking up every day and doing the thing. As the Stoics say, that's in my control. I control that. Even in injury, I can push through that. But if my metric is qualifying for something, beating other people, being accepted to something, well, then I've handed over the control to something else. And I've also taken this thing that I enjoy doing and turned it into a thing that other people have influenced or controlled. I turned it into a job, so to speak. I have no problem with people who race and do those other things if that's what motivates you. Great, but for me, I try to keep my motivation intrinsic. Epictetus says if you want to win, find a competition in which you are the only one in it. And that's how I think about physical fitness. That's how I think about running. That's how I think about exercise, and that's also how I think about writing. And until the benefits stick around, I think about my work. There's a line from Masonius Rufus. He says, you know, when you do something weak to get pleasure, the pleasure passes quickly, but the shame sticks around. But he says, when you do something hard, when you push yourself, when you do something that takes strength, the struggle passes quickly, but the virtue, the benefits, it sticks around, right? And so there's a point in every run, there's a point in every weightlifting session, there's a point in every physical thing that you do where you're wondering if it's worth it. You're getting all the consequences, you're paying all the cost up front, and you don't just get the benefit at the end when the endorphins kick in or whatever, and when you're a little bit proud of yourself, but you get the benefits way down the road, right when you have to jog up a flight of stairs to get something, when you know the day runs longer than you want it to be, when a project, when a book for me takes longer than I thought. I know what I'm capable of. I've practiced it. Running, the running was both building the muscle, but it's also the microcosm that's reminding me what I'm capable of, what I can draw on, and that's what I take for my running. Do one thing every day. Practice. There's a great video that Arnold Schwarzenegger did in the middle of the pandemic. He was talking about people who are stuck inside, or people whose routines were disrupted. People were overwhelmed. They said just that you do one thing every day. This doesn't have to be a lot, just do one thing every day. And that's kind of how I think about physical fitness. Obviously, it's good to have goals. Obviously, it's good to push yourself. Obviously, it's good to do a lot of things each day. But if you can start with just one thing, that's progress. Just do one thing every day. Seneca says that well-being is realized by small steps, but it's no small thing. The little things add up. So if you think about your physical practice, if you think about getting better as just doing one thing, one positive step every day, it's not everything, but it is a start. Own the morning. Get up and be active in the morning. That's the key. You are building the muscle of doing. When you get up early and you do something, I don't care if it's running, I don't care if it's meditating, I don't care just taking a cold shower, I don't care if it's just sitting and reading, but the point is you get up early, you in the morning, and by owning the morning, you own the day. Mark Serial says, what were you put on this plan to do? To huddle under the covers and be warm? No, you were not. He says, go do what you were put here to do. Do what your nature demands. That's how you own the morning. Make goals. Foreign. I think there are a few main things for me with running, particularly. First of all, it's just like a form of meditation. For me, it's a way to be outdoors. Like if I'm working on a writing problem, I've got some structural problem and that I can't figure out in my head, and then I'll go for a run, and it's like I won't usually solve that problem, but something I didn't even know I was thinking about will like bubble up, and I'll have some solution for that. So sometimes actually, I worry. When I got injured a little while ago, I was worried I wouldn't be able to write because I wouldn't be able to run, since that's where I solve a lot of my structural problems. Like in college has an 800-meter runner. This is short race, less than 2 minutes, about a half mile, and I would constantly make these goals of, oh, I want to run this time. Then you cross the finish line, and either you got that time or you didn't. Single quotes t.s. So you're happy if you did and you're pissed if you didn't, and it sort of started to realize that doesn't really help you do it. It just makes you happy or sad once it's done. And so I started making much more actionable goals, like let me run the first lap under a certain time, or make a big move with 300 meters to go. The Daily Stoic. When I wrote the Daily Stoic 8 years ago, I had this crazy idea that I would just keep it going. The book was 366 meditations, but I write one more every single day, and I'd give it away for free as an email. I thought maybe a few people would sign up. Couldn't have even comprehended a future in which 750,000 people would get this email every single day, and would for almost a decade. If you want to get the email, if you want to be part of a community that is the largest group of Stoics ever assembled in human history, I'd love for you to join us. You can sign up and get the email totally for free. No spam. You can unsubscribe whatever you want at dailystill.com email. Thank you.